14 and we managed to get to, because obviously there's loads of pre-rounds before you even get to Simon. And then I was in Simon's house in Barbados in the last 24. And I couldn't believe how far I got. I was 15 years old and it was nuts.
Yeah.
And then I got let go. And then
he told you to come back, didn't he, in 2 years?
To come back in 2 years. And I had dinner with him. My mum was there in his house. It was really weird because he just told me no, and I absolutely hated him at the moment. I was thinking, you bugger. And I was sat having dinner with the fella, and my future manager of One Direction's there, and whatever else, and we're all sat there having dinner together. Wider conspiracy. Then I went back to school, and you can imagine I'd just been there, and then I ended up back in school, and I'm sat in Spanish class on a Friday. And I've got nothing against the language, but it's terribly hard to learn, and it wasn't very interesting.
Language was always boring, always boring.
Great.
No,
I mean, I've got a song in Spanish, and I still don't know what it says. So, I mean, you can see how that was going for me. But, you know, I'd be out performing at gigs and be on stages in front of thousands of people, and then back in Spanish class on a Friday thinking, what the hell am I doing here? So it was a really weird, like, I knew what I was going to try and do.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of led me into being so sensible. I didn't want to drink. I didn't want to do any of this stuff. I didn't want to do anything else. I was like, no, I'm going back on X Factor in a few years. And it really was part of my life. So when I watch X Factor now, I can't watch it and, you know, and they kind of have somebody on a little bit like, oh, you're the next best, you know,
right.
I can't deal with it. Because I'm like, I know what that's going to do to that person's life.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm lucky because I went through and obviously went on again and got to where we got to, whatever. Great. But it really sits with you, especially at a young age as well. So it was like, I was a cocky little shit at school at times because I was just like, I don't need school. I was failing everything, by the way.
Yeah.
I was on like D's, U's and E's up until like the last 2 or 3 days from the year. And I was the only kid in my year, I think, who got like a parents' evening where we had to go and see the head of the year.
What is that purely just because you knew your heart was into other stuff? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I
think so, but I just also I wasn't sure of myself that it was going to happen because I didn't really ever think it was going to happen. It was a dream at that point, but also, I don't know, like, yeah, it does go to your head as a kid, 100%, you know. You look at someone, the thing is, I always put it like this. Since I was 14, I've always been in a place where I'm almost world famous, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And even though I wasn't, I mean, I remember going to the theme parks with my parents before One Direction. There was people noticing me in America from X Factor, and that's from 14. And I didn't really used to leave Wolverhampton all that much, and everybody knew who I was. And for the first few years, it was great. It was so much fun, and like everybody, I got banned from part of the school because the all-girls school used to come and like jump on the fence. And so you could see my head's getting bigger and bigger. And then the last year of it, because you haven't really gone anywhere, and it was 2 years before I could go back on, they realised I was still in the same place as everybody else. Then I was just like the town wanker, like everyone. Just
really?
like, yeah, just get ridiculed in the street. You know? I remember the worst one I ever had. I was in a McDonald's with a girlfriend I was with at the time. I was a classy guy. I'll take you to McDonald's. Which is really funny.
She's loving it.
Yeah, she didn't last. It didn't last very long. And we went upstairs, and I'm sat down with my meal. We sat down at a table together, and some kid stands at the top of the stairs and shouts, "X Factor reject," and runs off. And I can remember being like mid about to bite burger, and then I'm just like, everyone's looking at me, and I just felt the biggest twat in the world.
Yeah, but that's not even creative. He could have been creative. Do you know what I mean? That's like the worst.
It's not the best one in the world.
No,
but he was right.
Yeah, right.
I couldn't tell him he was wrong.
But getting rejected at the point you got rejected is still better than most.
Yeah, sorry, mate. I've been having lunch with fucking Simon Cowell in Barbados. So you went back 2 years later, and it blew up from there.
It blew up. I mean, my dad likes to tell me this. The one fact about me